We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To all the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all the subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for return this video, smash that like button to let me know you watch this video. Helps out the YouTube channel and lets me know you appreciate the time and effort I put into making these videos. So here we are with ATR, and we're going to break down all the information on why the stock fell so hard today, as well as where the momentum is going based off 42 vision on the 1 day and 30 minute, and the data of short interest, days to cover, and is it still the top short squeeze score on the list, because that's very important as well. And I'm going to break down everything with my opinion and what I see in the charts. But before we do and dive into all this information on ATR stock, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunities I mentioned this morning over at the Discord. And this is what we strive for every single day. Every stock that I mentioned turned out to be a home run, and we're going to jump right into it here with ATR. The home runs of the day were spectacular. Both stocks that I mentioned this morning turned out to be home runs. And if this is something that interests you and you want to become part of, you're more than welcome to join us. The link is down below in the description to the Discord. And by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So this morning I mentioned MRM and RNAZ. And this is how these stocks performed based off of the charts. So we talked about RNAZ pretty early on in the pre-market, sitting sideways, and it took off to a 10 to 20% move in a matter of 30 minutes. And at the time of this screenshot, it has hit a highest point in the day so far of 50% plus, guys. This is what we look for. This is what we strive for every single day. Now we also talked about MRM. This one was overextending. It was up 10% since I mentioned it in the pre-market. We were watching it as it was consolidating, and it took off to a highest point of 40% plus, 30% plus more after that 10% jump in the pre-market. Started talking about it down here, and it took off to a highest point in a matter of 15 minutes of 40% plus, guys. If this is something that interests you and you want to become part of, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord, and we look forward to having you join us. And let's jump into these charts. So here we are with ATR, and ATR has actually dropped tremendously from those highs that it reached yesterday, and the momentum has shifted pretty fast to the downside, right? And we really need to see this try to find a bottom. It seems like it kind of found one, but it doesn't mean that is the bottom just yet. We need to watch it carefully, and that support level will be key for this stock moving forward. But based off of 42 vision on the 30 minute, this was the most important shift to watch carefully to know if this was going to go into further weakness or recover, right? Because that whole entire shift happened here from green to dark green all the way to red. And those are the shifts with 42 vision that you could see before that sell-off or further weakness even comes. So this one was going from obviously strength to weakness very fast, and it's due to the fact of some news that broke out today. And it's kind of the same thing as saying an offering, and that's why a lot of people were confused, because in the whole entire message or the whole entire article, it doesn't say anywhere about offerings, right? But the articles do make it clear that it's being paid in shares, which actually is very interesting, because this debt that's being paid in shares, if that debt holder upon ATR is actually accepting shares, that's because they believe that paying this debt will be worth more in the future. Okay, that is something that's very interesting. That is something that I'm paying close attention to right now. But it's going to be very important to still watch overall what is going on in the charts longer term, because ATR right now, it's pulling back pretty fast. I'm all for that, but we have to see if they hold these shares, or is that the dilution that's happening right now? They went ahead and unloaded them right away and went ahead and cashed it out. Who knows? But this is the news that came out, and it's basically that ATR is paying forward that debt that they had with accrued and unpaid interest, which is an amount that will be paid in shares of the company's common stock. That's right there what was taken into consideration into this debt payment, and it created that sell-off to happen. It sparked it really fast, and it's happening really fast. Now, ATR still has pretty high short interest. It still has a higher, days to cover, like we talked about in the previous videos. But this right here it's the closest thing to an offering, because that large amount of shares being handed over to someone that can just dilute it or unload it, it's going to affect the stock price, right? And then here we have another article stating it's because ATR is once again turning to the sale of new shares as a way to strengthen the balance sheet. So they're trying to make their balance sheet look better. Hopefully the company is doing the right thing for the long-term opportunity of shareholders, but in the short term, it really hurt the momentum big time. So it's super important to be aware that yes, 42 Vision is showing the shifts to the downside, and this is not directly an offering, if not the sale of shares to pay off debt to a company that was putting debt upon them. So they came to an agreement and it went ahead and kind of left them cleaned out. And taking debt off the balance sheet for long-term holders is going to be a great thing for the company if they do the right things with it. So that's the positive outlook. But the negative outlook right now, short term, is that this momentum got hit hard and it's pulling downwards and it's shifted into red, and we still haven't seen white candlesticks with red borders. That would be an extremely downward pressure to this chart, and that's something that's missing here, and we're gonna have to see if it pops up or if it can reverse from here and start working its way up even higher, right? So that is definitely something to be aware of. We're gonna look at the two different charts here and also the short interest. Short interest has not changed much. It's still at 33. We saw it go from 36 to 33, so some shorts did cover on the way up. Days to cover started to go higher, which is putting pressure on the shorts. And then we have the borrow fee rate going down. So this is going ahead and making it much more accessible for shorts to short the stock. Okay, that is something to be aware of. And now the short squeeze score as of today is 97.09. So that is definitely something to be aware of and pay close attention to. And then we have here the short shares available. It's actually gone back down to zero, guys. Last updated 8 minutes ago, this was up in the thousands. Now it's back to zero. So shorts are shorting again, taking advantage of this news and making money on it going downwards, guys. And here you could see the short volume that started to pick up yesterday, higher than we've seen it in a while. This is the highest in a few days and weeks. 52% of the total volume yesterday was short volume. So a lot of shorts were already putting pressure yesterday as this was overextending and going higher before even this news came out. I wonder if they already knew this was going to happen, or at least they had some insight or thoughts that it could happen. Maybe they were playing out their own scenarios, because 50% of the short volume, that's a lot. And I'm going to be looking forward to seeing how much today's turns out to be once the market closes. But here we are seeing it. It's pulling down lower. It needs to stay above this support of 1182. If that gets broken through, the next point of reference is 1090. And then all the way down here at 915. Those are some key levels to watch moving forward. And to the upside, the bulls need a first breakthrough 1443. And that's not even a resistance level to show that there's strength. That's just the beginning of strength to continue pushing upwards if it can be used as a support. Now on the 30-minute, we see a complete shift here, and the only part of the shift that's missing is obviously white candlestick with red borders, meaning that things are going extremely weak in the 42 Vision 30-minute time frame. Now on the 1 day, you could see things, and I stated this in my video yesterday, that the last time it ran up with complete strength and momentum, it gave us 3 candlesticks. So it was going to be important to watch and see if another one would pop up or if a shift would happen. And we got our shift here. So this time around, there was some strength here and everything was building up for the possible squeeze that we just saw happen. I mean, the stock went from the 9s to the 18s, 16s, 17s. That's nearly double. So it is important to be aware that that was a pretty big move. And then this is being taken advantage of now to go ahead and pay off debt. And this could go into further weakness if it continues to shift lower and go into red. That's what I'm going to be watching on 42 Vision on the 1 day, and on the 30-minute, the white candlesticks with obviously red borders. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.